Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Vyerna and today I'm going to do some tests on the scaling of Neverwinter in its current state. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you would like to see more information or videos about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. We heard everyone talk about it. Scaling is bad, scaling sucks, it's broken, but let's actually show what it does and how much it will affect you. I am on the latest version of the game. I am on preview here, but it's the same version as currently on live. Here you can see my level 80 endgame build tune with very high stats. Almost everything is kept, and I can show you that here. I took a snippet from my Pocket Wiki to show what the caps are. For level 80 content, you can see here it's 60,000 armor penetration, and I'm right about at that. It's 60,000 accuracy. I am well above that. Critical strike, well above that. Combat advantage, I'm above the cap. Defense, defense is above the cap. Deflection is deflection is pretty much below. Combat advantage is extremely, no, this is critical avoidance. Critical avoidance is also above the cap, and awareness is below the cap. So only deflect and awareness is actually below the cap. The rest is slightly above or slightly below or very far above. I am going to make my stats persistent right now. You will see, oh, 1 second. You will see them here in the top right. And what I'm going to do is the following. I will queue up for every dungeon and skirmish. So from the epic dungeons. I'm also going to queue up for Clocktower just to see the big difference with level 12. And I'm going to do check two things. Well, first of all, I'm going to see whether I'm still capped in most stats. Which should be the case, because right now I'm capped at level 80 for level 80 enemies. And second of all, I will see how difficult the first group of enemies is to kill. Capped our rank as either still capped, slightly off, or very off. And enemies our rank as easy, hard, or impossible. So let's start with Castle's Retreat. Let's jump in and let's see what actually happens to our statistics. Oh wait, I have to do this private, otherwise it will not work. So here we are on the first map. Let's see our statistics. We're still almost 24,000 item level, and here you can see the statistics. Power went down almost to half, armor penetration is almost half, defense is almost half, critical strike is more than halved, critical avoidance is more than halved, accuracy is more than halved. So we don't have much. It's basically half of my stats I have left. And if you compare that with your caps at level 70, we are not even close to the caps from level 70. So we are very off here. So that's what I'm going to write down. I will show you the results at the end as well. But yeah, we are very off. Does that mean what does that mean for the combat? Because it doesn't have to mean anything if the enemies are also scaled down somehow, made easier. But let's see how bad this is. So you can see I'm not doing super much damage. I'm also not dead yet. So that's a good thing. Nope, let's not stand on that. So the enemies are slowly dying. This is definitely not quick. I'm not supposed to be a god anymore. That's what they tried to achieve. And that's definitely not what's the case here. But yeah, I am dying at the first trash mobs, so to say, that in the past died very easy. Okay, can hardly get off my So this is definitely not okay. And of course this is solo. Typically we'll run these dungeons in group content, and that's also the point, but the first trash mobs should be possible to kill a lot easier than this. This is way too much of a struggle. And I'm not even checking the bosses, so the bosses will be even worse than this. Okay, they died. So this I will say as hard. It's not impossible, but the enemies are pretty hard hitting and they will kill me. So let's abandon this instance and then we go to the next one, which is the Shores of Tuern. Shores of Tuern is one that was soloed quite often. Let's see. Okay, we're back at our slightly lower stats. Weirdly enough, sometimes you have to resummon him. Is it better now? Weirdly enough, we have slightly lower stats than in our persistent screen. I don't know what happened there. This game is very odd sometimes. Let's go to the Shores of Tuern. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. So here we are. First of all, let's check our statistics. Let's resummon this companion again, so to make sure that everything is reset. Power once again half. Yeah, it's basically the same as before. Everything is just about half. I think this is exactly the same stats as before. So we are definitely not kept very off from the stats that we should have. Enemies, however, seem to be a lot easier to kill here, which is interesting. So the enemies in Shores of Tuern are a lot weaker than in Malabog's, than in Castle's Retreat, I mean. So you can see I still do pretty good damage to them. I don't know why, but this is the case. So I'm going to rank the enemies here easy, because this is solo and it's pretty easy. So the kept is very off, and the enemies are easy. Let's abandon this one again, and then we go to the next queue. So next up is Malabog's Castle. Let's get in. Alright, here we are in Malabog's Castle. Let's see our statistics first. Power. Let's reset first as well. Seems that I have a little bit more power than on the previous maps. No, I think it's exactly the same again. Exactly the same. So very off once more. Next up, let's check out the enemies. We should have some speedlings, I think, at the start, or... Let's see. Oh, some trolls here. So you can see I'm doing a... No, it's actually not super bad. You have to remember, these are trolls, so they are not super weak. But I'm doing pretty decent damage. That's okay. Why do they keep walking behind me? That's so annoying. Okay. So this is relatively easy. I'm not really trying at the end anymore. So Malabog's Castle enemies. I might have to add a medium. They were not super hard, I have to say. And this is solo once again. I'm going to rank them easy. To be lenient on the game. Let's say it like that. Alright. Hey, I have my 65 back. Okay, whatever. Back at the normal values, let's queue up for Valindra's tower. So here we are in Valindra's tower, still same item level, and our stats are once again at just about the same value. To show you guys also what exactly happened, item level of my gear is still the same, but the stats of the gear are a lot lower than before. The Dark Enchantments rank 15 give 3%, but now 0.6% Companion Influence. The Vorpal, I don't know if that's scaled, doesn't matter that much. But our bondings also went from 70% each to 20% each, which is also quite crazy. Artifacts are not scaled, so that's a thing. But yeah, gear is definitely scaled quite a lot. So let's try out these enemies. So the stats here again is the same as the other two, is very off. Alright, let's see if they can slay me and bring her my skull. Doesn't look like it. Well, they do hurt in a group, I guess. Yeah, they do hurt. They do hit quite hard, but I guess they penetrate my armor, that's the problem. But they are pretty easy to kill, so they're once again going to be ranked. The cap is very off, and the enemies are easy in this case. Okay, we are back at our normal statistics. Let's queue up for the next one, which is Lair of Lostmauth. Alright, here we are. Let's first look at our statistics. It seems like to be exactly the same statistics again, so the stats are very off again. Let's try to kill some enemies here. Let's try this group instead of the golem there. Or the... yeah, it's a golem. Okay, the enemies are getting hit quite hard. Me too, by the way. Okay, he's joining the party. That's very nice. Let's use some at-wills here. Okay, this is hurting quite a bit. Alright, I'm going to rank these enemies easy as well. The golems are a little bit harder, but they should be a bit harder, I think. Anyway, same result as the previous ones. Okay, stats are back. Let's queue up for the next one, which is Temple of the Spider. Alright, here we are. Let's look at our statistics. We have slightly higher statistics than the other ones. 33k armor penetration, that's still very off. Defense is very off. Critical strike, which was super overcapped, is... well, it's relatively close because it was very overcapped. Combat advantage is also still very off. It's closer. It seems that this is a different tier because the other ones were all basically the same statistics. I'm going to write that down here. Tier 1. Tier 1. Tier 1. Temple of the Spider is tier 2, let's say it like that. Statistics are still very off, but a little better. Let's see what effect this has on the enemies. Can we kill them? Okay, they're hurting quite a bit. Well, it seems to be not too hard. It's just the start. When they surround you, you have to take evasive action. You cannot face tank everything, at least not on the ranger. Maybe on a different class like barbarian it's a little bit easier because you're a bit more tanky, but I would say this is still pretty easy. Alright, we are back. Statistics are okay again. Let's go into private and then we go to Quagmire Crypts. My guess, this is also going to be tier 2. Same statistics as Temple of the Spider. We had like 65,000 power, so this will be probably about the same. Yeah, 65,000. So this is again the same values as in Temple of the Spider. Yeah, so let's find the first enemies and try to kill them. Some bandits. Luckily they are a little bit apart, so they don't hit all at the same time. But this is pretty okay. It's manageable. So I'm just gonna still, even though I went down twice, I think, or 3 times, I don't even know. I'm still gonna rank this as easy. Because the enemies took quite a bit of damage. But we're still very off on the statistics. It's just scaled way too much. Statistics are back, and then we go to Grey Wolf Den. Alright, here we are in Grey Wolf Den. Let's see. Statistics still seem to be the tier 2 values. Maybe slightly higher? I'm not sure. I'm still gonna count it as tier 2. So they are very off. Statistics are still not okay. Not even close to the cap, which is just not okay. Let's find the first enemies. They should be here. And see how easily we can kill them. Seems like we're doing good damage. They're also doing good damage to me. They're doing very good damage to me. Is that enemies I'm going to rank as easy once more. So we're back at our stats. So before anyone freaks out about this, when I say easy, I mean actually the difficulty that the game should be. So if you're soloing as strong as you are, I don't think you should be having like a breeze through that you kill enemies in 1 encounter power or 2 encounter powers. That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be maiming them with each at will or each small power. It shouldn't be too easy. And that might be the case in the end at Clocktower, but we will see what happens. So, Castle Never, the next one. Seems that this one is also counted as a tier 2. Level 70 dungeon. So the stats are still very off, and that's not good in Castle Never, because this is not an easy dungeon. It's quite a bit harder than the other ones we've run so far, or we tried. Let's see how we do here on the bridge. So the good thing is that we don't have too many enemies here. But they're still hitting like a truck. Oh, that's not good. Ha, he got me. Before I got my last little will off. So, once again, I will rank the enemies as easy here. I don't think they're harder than they should be. Okay, we have our stats back. We lost 35 stats again. I don't know why. Now I have more? No, less. Oh, here they're back. Ah, maybe that was a debuff. So now we get at the interesting part. We're going to Spellplague Caverns. I am expecting the stats here to be a little bit higher. Once again, let's see if they get closer to the caps. Alright, here we are in Spellplague Caverns. Let's look at our statistics. And it seems that they're even lower than Castle Never just now. Not sure what happens. Maybe we have to reset it. No. Now we're higher. 74k. Yeah, definitely higher than before. Let's check them out. So power still very much reduced. Armor penetration is 20k below what we need. Critical strike is above what we need. But yeah, this one was very much overcapped. Critical avoidance is quite a bit too low. Accuracy is too low, 16k. So we are getting closer. Combat advantage is also a lot too low. So we're still, I would say, just very off still. It's all not even close, even though these are a little bit higher than before. Let's look at the enemies. They should be a bit harder again, I guess. Well, the enemies are getting hit. They are taking damage, so that's good. They are doing a lot of damage as well. Okay, I have to say the enemies here are harder than in the previous dungeons, so it's pretty impossible to solo these first enemies even without dying. At least on my ranger. Okay. Can you please kill that one dude there? Thank you. Alright. So I'm going to rank this actually hard. So this was a bit too much in my opinion. I shouldn't be dying that much. Shouldn't be going down. They were hitting very hard and they didn't go down quickly enough in my eyes. Should be a little bit easier. Okay, we have our stats back. Next up, and this is going to be a nice one because it starts quite difficult, Fangbreaker Island. Alright, here we are in Fangbreaker Island. Stats are the same as in Spellplague Caverns, so I'm going to also count this as a tier 3. Stats are therefore also very off. It's very off everywhere. And I can only imagine that this is going to be one of the hardest first steps of any dungeon. Unless I kill this one and count that. Oh boy. Giant coming in, 2 giants coming in, 3 giants coming in. Too late. Okay. Well, this was to be expected. So I actually think this is not too bad. I'm going to release here because I will never finish that. I think the damage against the other ones was okay, but I could never tank this solo on my ranger, whatever I do. So I think this is actually not too bad. I'm going to rank this one as easy. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not taking into account the bosses, so don't beat me up on that one. Let's abandon this one. Alright, we got our stats back. Private, epic queue. Next up is Tomb of the 9 Gods. Alright, here we are. Statistics. Yeah, that's basically the same as the FBI statistics. So, still very off. Not nice. Let's see how we do against these first Yuanti. With their annoying CC. Okay, they're not taking any damage and basically insta-killing us. Okay, this is I would not count this as okay. This is definitely too hard. Something is not good here. Let's reset. This is... I was doing damage to them, but yeah, they were just hitting too hard. I'm going to count this one as hard. It's not impossible, I think. To solo, it is impossible for me, but I think in a group you should be able to get at least the first enemies. Okay, we have our stats back again. Let's go to the last one on the list, and this one is the highest tier here. So this is also a higher item level than the ones before. Let's see what we have here. Should be slightly higher again. Okay, I could stop this cutscene. Let's see what our statistics are at. This is super low. Something is not okay here. Let's dismiss and resummon. Okay, that's better. 74. This looks like exactly the same statistics as what we had in Tomb of the Nine Gods. So yeah, that's that can only be described as also very off, which is a bad sign because this dungeon is once again more difficult than Tomb of the Nine Gods. So let's see how good we do here against those archers. This archer's taking some damage. I'm not dying too fast. Okay, that hurts. Spoke too early. Yeah, that soldier takes away half my health if he hits me with a crit. So I do need to dance around. Use a stone. Okay. Let's dodge that because it would be silly to not dodge that. This is the good thing, they have slow animations. Okay, we still died. But for Castle Never, I would rate these enemies as okay. Next up, if we have our statistics back, let's see how bad it is in Clocktower. So we're going to the lowest queue you can join when you're level 80, a level 12 queue. Enemy ratings are 800. Okay, it states the enemy ratings now. That's nice. So enemy ratings at level 12 is 800. What does that mean? $800. Now we of course don't know the high ratings. But yeah, we still need a lot of crit to reach the cap because it's 1000 per 10%. So I don't really know what the caps here are. Probably higher than this, but I will have to say, as a level 12, you probably don't have these statistics. Let's see what the first enemies will do here. So you can see my Dark Enchantment rank 15, which is normally 3%, now gives 0.05%. And my item level 990 gear gives 56 combined rating. Not much anymore, but still, this is insta-shot stuff. Yeah, so this is just a breeze through. It's very easy as it was before. Too easy. So stats I'm going to not rank because I don't really know, and the enemies are too easy, which is also not good. Okay, now they're hitting me. As you can see, they're also not really making a dent. So let's go out of here. Okay, we got our stats back. One last thing that I want to try, and it's going to have a wait. But a lot of people were complaining about normal Demogorgon. Where is it actually? As in trials, of course. So let me try this one. So here we are, normal Demogorgon. It's going to take a while for me to load up. In the meantime, let's look at statistics. Let me reset the companion. 69,000, 70,000. Seems that we have more stats than in the tier 1 level 70 dungeons. Yeah, I think this was 25,000 there, this 55,000. We have a little bit more, but this is still nowhere near what you need to cap for a level 70. So stats once again very off. And I will be back when these 4 minutes are over and when we enter Demogorgon. Alright, let's jump in. We are going to have the honor of tanking Demogorgon while we're at it. Of course, we're going to open... let's open a small one here. Okay, Demogorgon is chilling. Ouch. Okay, I can see why people are complaining about this. This is a small rift. And this is definitely not okay. They're hitting way too hard. Demogorgon is not caring. He knows that I'm going to die. Okay, so this is not okay. Way too hard. This is what I would call impossible. So we have one. We're going to put impossible here. This definitely needs to be fixed. This is not okay. I should be able to kill something in normal Demogorgon, and it's just not possible. I would just die. They don't take damage. They hit way too hard. So this is not okay. Let's jump out of this one. Alright, we're back at our normal stats. Private skirmish. I want to do one more, which is either Master of the 100 Let's do Dread Legion, because this is level 70. So I can see what the stats are doing. So here we are in Dread Legion. This one used to be very easy to solo. And we have extremely low stats again. Even less than in Castle's Retreat. Our bondings are level 21 here. Okay. 0.65, not sure. But yeah, of course, once again, way too low for level 70. Not okay. Yeah, this is lower than before. Somehow, we cannot skip cutscenes anymore. I don't know what's wrong. Do we have... oh, they're all coming. Nice. Let's see how we do. Okay, this is still quite okay. I mean, they are doing damage, but that was a lot of enemies. And I killed all of them without even needing a stone. So I would rate this as easy once again. Let's run out of here. Okay, so the stats were very off again and the enemies were easy, maybe even too easy. Well, let's make it easy. They did manage to hurt me quite a bit. So that was my test. Let me also show you the results that I wrote down. Here we go. So Castle's Retreat, which I see as a tier 1 dungeon, I guess is based on the item level of the dungeons, by the way. Let's go back here. Castle's Retreat, the cap was very off, so we were nowhere near with the stats that we have. Actually, that's true for all of the dungeons. Most of them were pretty easy though. The first enemies to solo. Just get Castle Retreat. The enemies were very hard to kill. Spellplague Caverns was almost impossible to kill, but I did manage to kill the first group. Tomb of the Nine Gods, very hard to kill the first enemies. In Clocktower it was way too easy. I one-shot everything there. Even though I'm 24k, I think that's just too easy. Shouldn't be happening. If you want scaling really to be good. In case you don't want scaling, of course this is okay. Normal Demogorgon is impossible. It's just not possible to kill anything there. And Dread Legion is easy again. So those are my results. Scaling is just not in a good place. It's not. So whatever anyone says, it's not in a good place. I didn't see any difference from the previous patch. I don't know if they changed anything, but I didn't see a big difference. But yeah, this needs to be worked on. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.